Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. I had just made a video, well I just published a video on the Oupes Exodus 1200, and there were a couple of things that I either couldn't get to work or I felt were underperforming, and I would like to go into some updates and some more specifics on those items. If you watched the last video, which I will try to link up here or something, I basically said that I could not get the Wi-Fi, the app, the Bluetooth app to work. Now, and it didn't. And it was while I was running it at 1,000 watts AC to try to lower it. And all of that shouldn't matter. I want to put that out there loud and clear. It shouldn't matter at what state or how much power is being drawn from your power station when you try to connect up to the Bluetooth or however the app connects to the power station. So I'm not giving this thing a pass. I'm just letting you know that it's actually been about 4 or 5 days, and I just decided to pull it out and use it, tried to connect the app, and it connected right up. So I just wanted to let you know that the app does work for this, or the connection does work. But I could not get it to work during my testing. But I do want to show you the app, so let's go ahead and put it up on the screen and so we can kind of go through it. Alright, when you first load up the app, the first thing you'll need to do is you'll need to power on the unit, and you'll need to press this IoT button, and that stands for Internet of Things. You'll see a little Bluetooth symbol and a little Wi-Fi signal flashing on the screen, and then you will load up the app, and you'll go through the instructions on adding a device. But since I've already done that, what it does is it tells you what to do, and then it scans for the device, picks it up, and it connects instantly. I already did that, so I'm just going to click on My Devices and check, and it will show this. It will show the Exodus 1200, and it will show the battery state of charge. So I'll just click on it, and it will give you this screen right here. Now this screen is kind of nice because it tells you exactly your state of charge for your battery. It tells you the temperature of the unit at the time, and it also tells you the amount of time you have left when it comes to the capacity of your battery. And then you have the options to turn on and off the AC and the DC. I like the fact that on the DC it shows the individual wattage output for the USB-A, the USB-C, and the 12-volt ports on the front of the unit. On the AC, it just gives you a full wattage rating. And then at the top, it does show you how much is coming in from the grid and how much is coming in from solar. Very self-explanatory. You can click on the little cog on the upper right, and you can go to like the settings. You can edit the name of the device. I went ahead and did that because I don't know if I have OCD or something, but I wanted to make sure and just change the name. I just named it Exodus 1200. You can change the charging modes from fast to slow. That's basically 300 watts of charge AC or 600 watts of charge AC. You can change the screen timeout. You can change the eco mode, and what that does is it makes it so if you're not using the AC side or the DC side, it will turn them off after a certain amount of time, which you can change in these settings. And then at the bottom, you can also change the unit, the temperature unit, so either Fahrenheit or Celsius. There's also an option on top where you can connect to your Wi-Fi, and from there it will just find your 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi signal. You'll put in your password and it will connect with that. So the app, it does work now, and the app is actually pretty nice. It has a lot of pretty good features. Alright, the next part about this is in that original video, I tried to run this little small 12-volt vacuum on the Oupes Exodus 1200, and it would not do it. It would do an overload every single time. And I went ahead and to prove that I can run this, and I just ran it on this Nurzivy, and it ran it just fine. So I went ahead and just pulled out this Allpowers R1500 too to kind of give it a size comparison to see how it will do. So let's go ahead and just run this on all 3 units right now. First, the Allpowers. All right, runs fine. try the Nurzivy next. Again, runs fine and actually feels like it has more power. And then we'll try it on the Exodus 1200. And it dies, and it gives us a E10 error. And you can just clear that out by pressing the DC to turn off the DC side and pressing it again to start it back up. So even though all of these units are at 100%, the Oupes still can't do that draw from that vacuum. But let's go ahead and go a little further into what I think is what's going on. All right, what I have here is, this is my DC tester. And this is what I use to test batteries, and also I use it to test power stations by just plugging in this 12-volt cigarette lighter that's plugged in right here. And then I can see the initial voltage, and then when I start pulling amperage, you can see the voltage drop. First, I want to plug it into this Nurzivy so I can show you the initial voltage of that 12-volt receptacle. Okay. We got it plugged in, and my meter is reading 13 volts. And now I have this set for a 5 amp draw. So I'm going to go ahead and plug it into the Nurzivy again, and we're going to see what the voltage is right off the bat. All right, plugging in now. And you can see that the voltage goes up to 12.5 with a 4.89 amp draw. But you can see that the voltage is still relatively high. So let's go ahead and try it with the Allpowers unit. First, we'll turn it down, and then I'm going to plug in the Allpowers unit to show you what the initial voltage is. And the initial voltage of the Allpowers unit is 12.5 at 0 amps. All right, and now I have the 5 amp draw set, so we're going to go ahead and plug in the Allpowers again and see what the voltage is at. And look at that, that voltage dropped almost an entire volt. But as you saw before, this Allpowers was able to power that vacuum, even though the voltage, even though the voltage is 11.6 at 5 amps, which is, it's a volt lower than that Nurzivy. So let's go ahead and plug in the Oupes. We'll go ahead and set it to 0, plug it in. And you can see that this Oupes starts at 12.2 volts. So let's go ahead and put a 5 amp draw onto this tester, and we'll plug it in again. All right, the tester is at a 5 amp draw, so let's go ahead and plug in the Oupes Exodus 1200. And you can see with this one as well, the voltage is all the way down to 11.6. So it dropped from 12.2 to 11.6. I believe 11.6 was the same that the Allpowers did. So if we take it back down to 0, see now it shows 13.2 volts when I plugged it in before and it was 12.2 volts. So there is something weird going on with this DC side. But as soon as you put some amperage on it, it just drops like a rock. Let's see how high we can actually get it. The fan just turned on. Yeah, 11.2, 11. At 10 amps, it's 11.1 volts. And that was a slow draw. So at 10 amps, let's see what each one of these does. Nurzivy, here we go, Nurzivy. Look at that, 12.5 volts at 10 amps, right from the get-go. Let's go ahead and do the Allpowers. Oh, look at that, 10.7. Oh, it's crawling up there. But it ran it, so that's good. And it gets up to 11 volts, but still way below the Nurzivy. All right, and lastly, let's try the Oupes Exodus. Ready? Plugged in. And it ran it, but the fans on the Oupes are on, and it's only at 11.2 volts at 10 amps. So I'm honestly wondering, these bigger devices, they're mainly going to be thought of being used for the AC side and not so much the DC side, which is unfortunate. Because this little small unit right here that can only do a 300 watt AC inverter, it can do that DC all day. I mean, that one is made to have stuff plugged into the DC side, and it will run anything at a nice, crisp, high voltage. But the Oupes and the Allpowers, their DC ports, the voltage gets way too low. The thing I'm wondering is, I noticed that the Oupes, the fan tries to run also at that high amperage on the DC side, when the Allpowers does not. And I think that in combination of the high 10 amp load that's going into that barrel port for the DC side, along with the fan trying to start, I wonder if that's just overloading the DC side altogether. So, you know, please leave it in the comments if you think of something different, or if you think I'm just completely wrong and you're like, there's something wrong with this unit. I don't know, but that's my findings. So please tell me what you think in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching this video, and have a great day. Bye-bye.